Hi guys, today we will be sketching this light bulb. Position your object to a desired angle and adjust the brightness. I wasn't satisfied with the final photo, so I advanced to Snapseed to edit the brightness, contrast, saturation, and other things to achieve a more suitable reference for my drawing. I made sure that there's a balance between the highlights and shadows so that it's easy for me to copy it when I am shading the drawing. So here's the final photo. I then continued to edit the photo on the Drawing Grid Maker app. I checkmarked the square and edited the number to 20. The grid lines are too thick for me, so I edited its thickness to 1. And because our photo is a bit darker, some of the grid lines are not visible, so I changed its color to white. You can do that by clicking the color wheel. I then labeled the squares to help me not get confused when I start drawing. I then used my new sketchbook which I bought from Great King, a shop from Lazada. You can check the shop for more art materials. The sketchbook is in A5 size and has 80 sheets. I wanted to margin the drawing for the very reason that I will be including its background. This will then give me a clean edge on the final look. The paper on the sketchbook is a bit thin, so I don't know how it might react when I start peeling the masking tape. So it's safer to not press it hard, just enough to stick it on the page. I then started making the grid lines with 0.8 cm space in between. I then labeled the rows with numbers 1 to 14 and columns A to T, just the same as the reference from the grid maker. I use Faber-Castell pencils in my drawings. In this one, I used the 2B shade. Start by sketching the outlines of the object in your reference, and then the lines of the shadows and the lines where different shades meet. After that, you can lightly erase the grid lines and other markings from your sketch. This will then help you cover the grid lines when you start shading. In shading, it is important to start lightly. You can just layer it on darker tones and easily erase it on highlights. You can always use your fingers to blend your shadings. Tip to make your drawings more realistic is to keep your shadows black and highlights white, and keep everything else blended smoothly. A very effective technique when covering a black plain background is to use a marker or felt tip pen. Then you can easily tap it with your pencil. This can also be applied when drawing hairs on a portrait. Unfortunately, I don't have a marker, so I just use this colored pencil to cover the background. The downside of this process is that it doesn't have that final clean slate look. Another tip in coloring: when you start coloring in a vertical manner, try to keep that across the whole process. As you can see here, the top part is obviously done in horizontal, and it's so visible against this upward-downward stroke. Keeping it in one stroke will give you a clean finish. Now we're down to finishing touches. I am now darkening what needs to be darkened and erasing places with highlights. Always check the drawing and reference to see missed spots. This can be critical for the final output. I really hope these tips help you. Enjoy the rest of the video!